headquarters declares 19 bandit leaders wanted. And from the foreign scene, Ghana's President Akufo-Addo sacks junior finance minister for alleged corruption. Good evening, thanks for joining us on the news. Uluwatoyin Omodara is my name. Ondo State Government has distributed relief materials donated by National Emergency Management Agency NEMA to recent victims of flood disaster in the state. Deputy Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa during the distribution commended NEMA for the support and expressed confidence that the beneficiaries will make judicious use of the items. Government House correspondent Timileyin Falade reports that the materials handed over include rice, beans, vegetable oil, among others. The federal government has assured the people of Ondo and Ekiti states that the contractor handling the dualization of the road linking the two states will be back on site soon. The Minister of State for Transport, Ademola Adegoroye, while playing host to principal officers of the Ondo State House of Assembly, led by the Speaker, Mr. Bamidele Olelogun, also said the proposed deep-sea port in the state would soon become a reality. Today is World Diabetes Day. The day is commemorated to raise awareness about the impact of diabetes on the health of people. It also seeks to highlight the opportunities to strengthen the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of diabetes. This year's theme is Education to Protect Tomorrow. As Nigerians join the rest of the world today to observe World Diabetes Day, WDD, the Endocrinology and Metabolism Society of Nigeria, EMSON, has warned that over 10 million Nigerians are living with the disease, and the numbers are expected to double by 2030 if nothing is done urgently. EMSON also stressed the need to strengthen access to quality education on diabetes, both for the health team and for people living with diabetes and their caregivers and society in general. Meanwhile, health experts have called for awareness on the growing burden of diabetes disease with strategies and ways to prevent and treat it. This year's theme, Access to Diabetes Care, which has been on since last year, was another opportunity to educate as many people as possible about preventive tips and the impact that diabetes has on an individual's health. Oluseyi Akinwale reports that about 24 million adults are living with diabetes, with that number predicted to swell by 129% to 55 million by 2045, and is forecast to become one of the leading causes of death in Africa by 2030. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, we'll serve you more stories on the news. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng, or follow us on Facebook, OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. Now to the rest of the bulletin. All is now set for the flag off of rotavirus vaccination in Ondo State. Rota vaccination is a measure to protect children against diarrhea disease affecting children under 2 years. The flag off will kickstart the vaccination of children between 6 and 23 months. At a parley between the State Primary Health Board and critical stakeholders in Akure, parents were urged to be ready to release their children for the 3 doses of Rota vaccines at 6, 10, and 14 weeks of age. The Director of Community Health and Education, Dr. Samuel Abiono, and the State Mobilization Officer, Mrs. Yetunde Akinyosoye, urged stakeholders to sensitize nursing mothers on the benefits of the vaccination. They commended the state and federal governments as well as other partners like the World Health Organization and the UNICEF for ensuring healthy growth of the children.
The program, organized by the Ondo State Contributory Health Commission, is to sensitize local government workers on the need to key into the Orange Health Insurance Scheme.
I apologize for that mix-up. The Ondo State government says it is committed to providing affordable healthcare services to all public officers in the state. The Director General of Ondo State Contributory Health Commission, Dr. Abiodun Oyeneyi, reaffirmed government commitment during a sensitization program for local government workers in Akure South, Akure North, Idore, and Ifedore. Osrc's Okoyemi Oladejo was there and now reports.
The program, organized by the Ondo State Contributory Health Commission, is to sensitize local government workers on the need to key into the Orange Health Insurance Scheme for affordable health services. In his opening remark, the Director General, Ondo State Contributory Health Commission, Dr. Abiodun Oyeneyi, commended the administration of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu for the initiative. Dr. Oyeneyi enjoined the local government workers to key into the health insurance scheme for quality and affordable health care.
People are seeking for information and knowledge, and also because it's their right. And we also owe them a duty to make sure that the information that should be at their disposal is brought to them in a timely manner, so that when they begin to have access to care, there won't be any delay. That's why we are here.
Explaining more on the benefits of the Orange Health Insurance Scheme, the Director of Business Development and Marketing, ODCHS, Dr. Adetolu Ademujimi, said public servants have the right to choose their preferred hospital from the list of accredited and ready-to-partner health facilities.
The way it works is that one people to be wise with their money, put in a little into the pool, and then it joins other people's contributions, and people can have access to quality health care at the health facilities of their choice among the accredited facilities whenever they need it.
If someone says what they treat you, it's a great opportunity for us because of our health. We can't do anything without health. Health is first.
So when we talk about knowledge-based economy, you have to be very, very healthy.
The chairman, Akure South Local Government, Mr. Gbenga Olaniyi, lauded government's effort to improve the welfare of workers in Ondo State.
They are very committed. You can see that the turnout is a very large number. Also beneficial to them, as you know, because health now is going to be accessed at a very subsidized rate. And that is the importance of it.
He also encouraged the local government workers not to miss the golden opportunity afforded by the initiative. Okoyemi Oladejo, Osrc News.
And now let's bring you that story on relief materials by SEMA. Ondo State government has distributed relief materials donated by National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to recent victims of flood disaster in the state. Deputy Governor Lucky Aidat was during the distribution, commended NEMA for the support and expressed confidence that the beneficiaries will make judicious use of the items. Government House correspondent Timila Infalade reports that the materials handed over include rice, beans, and vegetable oil, among others.
43-year-old Jide Adeshui, a resident of Akure, is one of the victims of flooding in Ondo State. His house was destroyed by rainstorm and flood earlier in the year. Adeshui, like other beneficiaries, thanked the state government and the National Emergency Management Agency for the intervention.
First, that our
the wall of some houses were destroyed. Okay, able to for this Christmas that is coming and the new year, will not buy all these things again. So
the Osrc Osrc Ahmed thanked the federal government for the initiative and assured that the items will get to the victims.
I appreciate this. Say a big thank you to the federal government for giving us these relief materials. I can assure you, I can say this is my chief say, get to everybody that were affected by the storm.
The Deputy Governor, Mr. Loki Ayedatiwa, who was represented by the Secretary, State Emergency Management Agency, Femi Obideyi, posited that the items will go a long way to assist the victims.
So a few weeks ago, as you are aware, many states across the state, virtually almost every state, experienced 2022 flood. So the presidency magnanimously directed that items should be given, relief items, we send across the state. On those states, we receive our own share of humanitarian assistance from the federal government, giving them to each and every one of the 2022 affected victims as captured by SEMA with collaboration of NEMA in the state.
Head of operations of NEMA for Ondo and Ekiti State, Olanrewaju Kajiri, said 1,000 victims benefited from the initiative in Ondo State, with 6,000 others in sight. Kadiri said there is the need for government at all levels to take proactive measures that will lead to substantial reduction in flood disasters.
We hope that in the future, the call of NEMA as regard early warning will be heeded and we won't have needless loss of life and property. We pray that when we give a prediction on early warning, people will take caution and be on the alert and avoid things that can lead to disaster and undress loss of life.
The distribution of the relief materials is coming few weeks after the items were handed to Ondo State by the National Emergency Management Agency to cushion the effects of flood disaster. Timileyin Falade, Osrc News.
5 out of 15 persons, Banji Alade, Boyega Ario Olumide Johnson, Femi Sobo, and Ahmed Ikire, who allegedly dehumanized the 24-year-old man over a domestic issue in Irun Akoko, have been arrested by the police. The victim of the abuse, Femi Ajayi, who was accosted by 15 hooligans, accused him of having an affair with wife of one of them, recorded the ugly incident and posted it on various social media platforms. The case, which was promptly reported at the Irun Akoko Police Divisional Office, was allegedly torn down as the officers on duty failed to respond due to the influence of the accused, who claimed to be senior Yahoo boys noted for notoriety. The video of Femi Ajayi, which was posted on social media, however, caught the attention of human rights group, which immediately alerted the Ondo State Police Commissioner on the incident, who allegedly ordered the immediate arrest of the 15 persons involved. Only 5 of the accused have been arrested and taken to the police headquarters, while others are still at large. Residents of the community have expressed relief at the arrest of the gang members, which they noted have been terrorizing the community without respect for the law. The Defense Headquarters has published details of 19 wanted terrorists with a reward of 5 million naira reward for any person who brings information leading to the arrest of any of the insurgents. In a statement, the Director of Defense Information, Major General Jimmy Akbo, said Nigerians should contact the military on 091-3590-4467 with relevant information that can lead to their capture. The statement said the 19 terrorist commanders have been wreaking havoc in northeast, northwest, and north central zones of the country. President Muhammadu Buhari has presented proposed budget of the Federal Capital Territory and the Niger Delta Development Commission to the House of Representatives for consideration and approval. The Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, read the communications from the President to members at the plenary today. Gbajabiamila also read out to members Buhari's cover letter on an executive bill seeking to amend the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed, and other government officials, as well as members of the private sector, have attended the 28th Nigerian Economic Summit, which kicked off in Abuja today. The theme of the event is 2023 and beyond, priorities for shared prosperity. In her remarks, the finance minister said the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has recorded achievement in areas of transformational investment in infrastructure to restore national road networks projects, which she said will be complemented by investment in light rail, narrow and standard gauge rail. She noted that airport terminals are being completed in Lagos and Abuja, adding that the Abuja airport runway is being reconstructed while work is also ongoing on the development of seaport and auxiliary infrastructure to the ports or airports to ensure efficiency in the transportation sector. The Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned indefinitely the trial of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, in the terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government. Justice Binta Ayako put off the trial signed at the instance of Kanu pending the resolution of the federal government appeal against the October 13 judgment of the Court of Appeal that discharged him from the terrorism charges. The federal government appeal is seeking reversal of the Court of Appeal judgment pending before the Supreme Court. Two other cases billed for hearing before the court were also put off indefinitely for the same reason. Still talking litigation matters, the Federal High Court sitting in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State Capital, has cancelled the governorship primary election of the All Progressives Congress held on May 26th this year and ordered a new one. The former aide to President Muhammadu Buhari, Ita Enang, had told the court that the party primary, reportedly won by Obong Akan Udofia, was characterized by several illegalities, as the winner was not a member of the party. The presiding judge, Justice Agatha Okeke, nullified the APC primary poll and ordered the party in the state to conduct another credible primary within 2 weeks. And now let's bring you the report on the World Diabetes Day. Health experts have called for awareness on the growing burden of diabetes disease with strategies and ways to prevent and treat it. This year's theme, Access to Diabetes Care, which has been on since last year, was another opportunity to educate as many people as possible about preventive tips and the impact that diabetes has on an individual's health. Olushaya Akinwalera reports that about 24 million adults are living with diabetes, with that number predicted to swell by 129% to 55 million by 2045, and is forecast to become one of the leading causes of death in Africa by 2030.
In 2020, a meta-analysis reported that approximately 5.8% of adult Nigerians are suffering from diabetes, and sadly 2/3 of those with diabetes are undiagnosed. Diabetes is a lifelong disease in which the body cannot produce enough insulin. In some other cases, it cannot use the insulin it produces, as insulin is the key hormone involved in the storage and controlled release of glucose in the blood. In both instances, this leaves the affected person with an excess amount of sugar or glucose in the body, which is then transported around in the blood and can cause damage to all the tissues and organs of the body. A medical practitioner, Dr. Tayoni, harped on the need for those living with diabetes to closely manage the disease and maintain their blood sugar level. He advised that to maintain a healthy blood sugar level, one must adopt healthy lifestyle habits like proper diet and exercise, as obesity, being black, or having other illnesses like poorly controlled blood pressure or cholesterol levels can cause diabetes.
Somebody has that tendency, the first thing is and is to reduce weight, to avoid raw sugar. When I say raw sugar, I mean plain sugar, adding sugar to this. Avoid sugar entirely. Avoid what we call soft drink, the one America we call soda. I don't want to mention their names so that we are not demarketing, but you know the soft drinks that they are full of sugars. Then the kind of food you eat, you have to moderate intake of carbohydrate food, moderate it.
Director of Medical Diagnosis Services Hospital Management Board, Dr. Olumuyiwa Kwelemo, said diabetes is of two main types, type 1 and type 2, and may develop in pregnant women, and that is known as gestational diabetes. He said there's a need to go for checkups regularly and be mindful of symptoms such as increased thirst, urination, increased hunger, fatigue, numbness, or tingling in the feet or hands, and many others.
Are picked on just routine tests. So, diabetes is a condition that affects practically all the organs of the body. Okay? Eventually, if it's not well controlled. And today being the World Diabetes Day, which we are laying emphasis on this condition, which seems to affect all age groups. And then in this age group, we have people who have been either out of ignorance, been rather debilitated, or all that. So we will advise people to regularly go to the hospital for checkup, investigation, routine screening, so that these things can be picked and then managed effectively.
Others opined that diabetes can be fully controlled with herbal concoctions, even if most people adopt it as a way to regulate blood sugar, but it shouldn't be recognized as the sole treatment. It is however hoped that people living with diabetes should adopt lifestyle changes and regularly go for checks, as diabetes can cause a wide range of complications like heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, lower limb amputation, visual impairment, blindness, and nerve damage, which are in most cases very terminal. Olusheye Akinwalere, South News.
And now to the foreign scene. Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo has fired his junior finance minister over allegations of corruption. The president terminated the appointment of Charles Boahen with immediate effect. Boahen was reportedly seen in documentary images trying to demand $200,000 from potential investors to give to the vice president to allow them do business. The documentary was made by Anas Aramaya Anas, whose previous exposes led to a ban on the former Ghana FA president by FIFA and sanctioning of over 50 referees across Africa. Akufo-Addo has been under increasing pressure after recently opening negotiations with the International Monetary Fund over a potential $3 billion loan to help shore up the country's economy. Indonesia has tightened security on the island of Bali in advance of the G20 summit. Thousands of military and police officers have been deployed to keep leaders safe. Odwayo Soya reports.
In Bali, preparations are underway to welcome some of the world's most powerful leaders. Security is a top priority for the host nation.
The G20 is attended by heads of states, so we are doing simulations of any possible threats like terrorism, hostage situations, and any other extraordinary event. That is the duty of the special
forces. In the weeks leading up to the summit, elite soldiers have taken part in drills, including paratrooper training. More than 18,000 military and police officers will be stationed in Nusa Dua, the resort district hosting the delegates. 12 warships will be deployed, and more than 1,000 personnel will be on standby for evacuations in case a natural disaster occurs.
In terms of security, we are experienced. We also pray that nothing will happen, but overall, the security from the police and military is very good.
Indonesia has experienced violent attacks in the past. The biggest was the Bali bombings 20 years ago. It also sits on the ring of fire, making it prone to natural disasters. But authorities say they have prepared for every scenario. As one of Asia's most popular tourism destinations, Bali is accustomed to welcoming visitors from all over the world. But this will be the most high-profile event the island and Indonesia has ever hosted. The tourism sector hit hard by COVID-19 travel restrictions has started to recover in recent months, with tourist arrivals and hotel bookings on the rise.
We do hope the G20 will be successfully executed. If this is happen, this is a big boost for us in Bali.
Schools in the area will be closed for the week to help reduce traffic around the summit location.
We are starting online learning again because of G20. Our island, our home, will be more well known because of the G20. So our students understand and they are proud.
With the eyes of the world on their home, many believe this is a chance to showcase Bali safe, welcoming and ready to host all kinds of visitors, including heads of state. Oduayo Sawyer, Osrc News.
And now to sports. Nigeria's athletic sensation Tobi Amusan has made it into the final list of 5 for the 2022 World Athletics Awards in the women's category. The 5 athletes who represent 5 countries from 3 area associations have achieved sensational performances across a range of athletics disciplines in 2022. At the World Athletics Championship Oregon 2022, World Athletics Indoor Championships Belgrade 2022, one-day meeting circuit and other events around the world. According to World Athletics, a 3-way voting process determined the finalists. The World Athletics Council and the World Athletics family cast their votes by email, while others logged their decisions online via the World Athletics social media platforms, where a record 1.3 million votes were registered. The World Athletics Council's vote counted for 50% of the result, while the World Athletics family's vote and the public vote each counted for 25% of the final result. The World Athletes of the Year will be announced on World Athletics social media platforms in early December as part of the World Athletics Award 2022. Just before we go, a quick look at some of the highlights of the bulletin. The Ondo State government has distributed relief materials sought from National Emergency Management Agency to victims of recent flood disasters in the state. Health experts have craved awareness on the increasing burden of diabetes in society. They made the call on this year's commemoration of World Diabetes Day. The Defense Headquarters has published details of 19 wanted terrorists with a whopping reward on information leading to their arrest. And from the foreign scene, Ghana President Akufo-Addo has sacked the country's junior finance minister over alleged impropriety. And that's it on the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Good evening.